My wife asked me why my shooting glasses are bright red. So first off, safety first. And you know that my favorite color is red. Stop playing. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Big Ball Vlogs, Big Ball Shooting, Big Ball Entertainment, Big Ball, the instructor, NRA instructor. And today we're out at the range, finish up a range day, finishing up a range day enunciation to talk about this new Discovery Optics 2-12 by 24 variable optic. I don't want to say LPVO because it is a 12 power, but this is a new optic from Discovery Optics, or the Discovery Opti, or whatever you want to call it. And I picked this up to try it out. And I want to give you guys, some information about it. I am not the scope reviewer guy. I'm the guy who buys budget stuff and tells you whether or not I like it. If you want to get the details, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come out with a video that's going to smoke mine when it comes to all those little details like chromatic aberration and everything like that. But for now, we're just going to talk about what you're going to get from Discovery Optics in this tiny little package here. So let's start off. As you may have seen on all my other videos, on some of my other videos, I F's with Discovery Optics. I'm a budget buyer, and when I did my research on optics, I was looking at all the different brands, all different stuff. Arkin was like, that budget brand that everybody's recommending, but Discovery Optic popped up on the radar, and I have been running them. I've actually got them on a few of my guns. I got them on this one. I got the 4-16 on my 22. I've got the 5-30 on my 308. And I was running for a little bit there, LPVO 1-6, which I never put it on this one, but I was running on the 22. So I'm really impressed by what Discovery Optics has to offer, only because it is that budget line of scopes. I mean, it is Chinese, right? It's budget line of scopes that, for me, gives me more bang for my buck. Yes, Arkin is amazing. I get it, guys. You guys got Arkins. But at the end of the day, Discovery Optics comes in a little bit less than Arkin, with probably not a lot of compromise. So look around, you've seen some videos of guys doing scope reviews, and they'll give you the same opinion. But this one kind of impressed me because I had been running on this one, and I might have said it in all of my other videos. I'm one of those guys that doesn't believe in building any type of weapon without some type of iron sight on it, whether it's backups or whatever, because at the end of the day, I thought, if this gets broken or something happens or it just gets knocked out, like earlier where it came loose and I had to tighten it up, and I was wondering why my shots were walking all over the target. I want to just be able to pop this off with these quick QD disconnects and get back in it with the iron sights. So yeah, I've been running the 1-6, and I've been really impressed by it because with the 1-6, it gives me an advantage. One, my vision ain't the greatest anymore. In fact, I've been struggling trying to see those iron sights, but one, it gives me the ability to zoom in a little bit and focus the optic to my vision. So sort of like a diopter, so I can adjust that vision to my vision and be able to get on those targets. But the 1-6 has its limitations. I can hit 600 yards with the 1-6, but it is low power. There's no ability to change the parallax. So at 600 on a hot day where you got the mirage happening, I just, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to hit, especially with an AR shooting 55 grain. I mean, that's probably a struggle in its own. But yes, I wanted to get a little bit more power because past 400, like for 400, I probably could hit that. Actually, I know I can hit 400. When I got to 500, 600 on this range, yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm struggling. I couldn't really see it. So this came out and I said, hey, I want to try, a little bit more power. And I'm also looking for something that's a little bit more compact. And that little guy right there, or little guy or girl, whatever you want to call it, fit the bill. Came in at about $160. Shipped from China. Took about 10 days to get it to me. It is actually smaller, being a 12X or a 6-power 2-12 than my standard size 1-6. I think you running a West Hunter on this pinpoint tack driving optic, like $100, and it's also smaller than the Discovery Optics 1-6, which is a tank. It's like literally a freaking tank. It's built bigger. I think it was built bigger and bulkier because it is a first focal plane scope, and usually those are a little bit bigger when it comes to the size of all the mechanics that work in there. Now, surprisingly, when I saw this, I was just happening to be searching around, and I just saw this pop up on their site. I like to go to their site and kind of look at stuff. because I was thinking about buying a higher power optic. I was shocked to see that this is small and compact. It's a 2 to 12 6X, and it is tiny. It's compact. It is short. I think this is running at 8 inches versus the others, which are probably like closer to 11 or 12. And it is offering a lot of bang for the buck for 160 bucks. But the question is it really replacing the low power variable optic, or is it just like a gimmick type of scope? Because at the end of the day, to shoot at 600, the magnification you need is probably somewhere between 14 and 16. An 18 would do. I know a lot of guys that go 30 and 40, but an 18 would do. This is a little, like, from my experience, I got it out on the long range side. At 12, yeah, I can see the target a little bit better, but it's still not, huge. It's not big. It allows me to get on those silhouette targets, easier, but just not big enough for me to kind of make out the hits when they strike. If I can't hear the ting come back to me in about a second or see that target move, I wouldn't be able to see. I can't see the dirt kick up when I'm missing to kind of compensate to adjust for the shot. But as a replacement for an LPVO, I thought that would be an interesting conversation to let you know kind of what you're getting at, is because I don't really think it's a replacement for an LPVO. And there's a couple of reasons why. So let's just go through it. Let's go through all of the features that you get for the LP. I mean, I'll post a spec card somewhere up here so you can kind of maybe follow along with you. But let's talk about some of the features that you get. So first off, you got I think I might have shown it in one of my previous videos, one of my reels. You have the 10th mil adjustments. This does not have zero stops. So the thing about it is, with the zero, like if you go backwards too far, yes, you can go back past your zero and kind of be wondering why. So it doesn't have zero stops, but I think that is more because it's not meant to be like a high powered, but more like a low powered, right? So it doesn't have zero stops. And the other thing that is kind of negative about it, I don't want to say it's negative, because if you're into dialing dopes, this is probably not going to work for you, because being a mil radian scope, it only goes up to 4 mil rotations. So for me to shoot at, I don't know, let's say if I was using my 22 to shoot at 400 yards, that's probably going to be like 10 or 12 mil. So I'm going to have to rotate that like three times. So you probably wouldn't want to do a lot of dope adjustment or scope adjustment with this one, but it is, yes, very much designed for holdovers. So one of the cool things I thought about this optic that I really do like is the fact that even though it's a little bit off when I use it on my 5.56, there are hold markers at illuminated hole markers at that. I mean, if you want to light it up, there are illuminated hole markers at, it looks like about -2, 0, 4, 6, 4, 8, 12, and that's it. So at those markers, or at those points on the reticle, you have an illuminated dot. So very much designed for holdover. So I can put that dot at the target and hit where I'm going to hit. The other thing that I liked about it was the fact that it has the parallax adjustment. Now, that's where it gets tricky when this comes to being a low power versus high powered. Usually your low powers don't have a parallax adjustment. And for this particular scope, it does have a parallax adjustment because you're going to be shooting at the further range, which absolutely works perfectly. I can get this look down range, and this scope is, by the way, being HD, this scope is amazingly clear. You got to take my word for it because I don't have a shot camera, but it allows me to focus those shots when I'm further down range. Now, when it comes to being low powered, because this is first focal plane, when you turn it all the way down to its lower power and you're looking through the scope, even at its lowest parallax adjustment, which is, I believe, 5 meters. If you can see right there, I don't know if you can see that. It is 5 meters. It gives you a lot of parallax. Like it puts me on target. I mean, I could definitely get out there and get it. And it works similar to an LPVO, where I can get in there. As long as I got everything adjusted the right length, I can get in there real quick. But there is a substantial amount of parallax at low power. And right now I'm only at 15 yards. I'm hitting target. But again, when you move that scope around, you're going to see everything move around. It's a little bit trippy, to be honest with you. So how often do you use that? I mean, at 5 yards, yes, if I want to be using this as a main battle rifle, there might be something closer than 15, 20, 25, 30, 600 yards. So yes, I'm going to want to be able to get on those targets at closer range, and this does allow me to do it. But like I said, it does offer a substantial amount of parallax, where it is really warpy around the outer edges, except for about that much of the center of the scope. So might want to keep that in mind. As far as the adjustments go, like I said, it doesn't have zero stops. In the way that you adjust it would be to pull up the cap, turn the knobs, push the cap back down, and locks it into place. And then you are able to reset the zero by removing those large screws, pulling off the cap and then sending them back to 0, and you're good to go. As I said, as far as the clarity of the scope, I mean, at high power, I am really impressed by Discovery Optics. This is HD glass, Chinese, I don't know, Chinese, Japanese. It's very, very clear for a budget optic at 160 bucks. Let me get that parallax adjusted. And with the right light, man, like in a daylight situation like this, I can pick up a lot of detail. Was playing around this in my out in my backyard area, which is about 130 yards, and yeah, I was able to pick out knots and trees. I'm like, yeah, this gun has, I mean, this scope has the ability to really give you some pretty accurate shots. So on the long range rifle side, I did get this sighted in. I didn't get it on camera sighted in because there was a ton of people out shooting today, and I really don't like filming when other guys are around. Plus, there's just a ton of shots, and it wouldn't allow me to kind of record while I was shooting video. But yeah, I got it dialed into maybe MOA groups. I'm using random 5.56 223 ammo that I have mixed together in a can, and I was able to get it to MOA groups, at least MOA groups. And I didn't even try to get it any tighter than that. I decided to push over to the longer side of the range, and I was able to pick up those targets at 300 like usual, 2 mil, 400 like usual, about 3 mil, and 500 was about 3.5 mil. Really easily hit them consistently on the 8-inch plates. But when I pushed out past that to 600 yards, yeah, it's probably a struggle to shoot with 55 grain. I don't know what the drop is. It should have been like 196 inches, maybe according to the internet. I didn't have the ability to do all of my calculations in my ballistics calculator because I didn't have the BC and stuff like that. And I don't know what ammo I'm shooting, to be honest with you. I just know it's all 55 grain. I don't know if it's 5.56 or 223. Shooting at those targets, I think I might have hit it once, and it was somewhere between 6.5 or 7 mil of elevation to hit those targets. But other than that, like I said, I'm super impressed by it. Right now, I'm currently running it on these very inexpensive 30 mil rings that I have that quick disconnect, so I can pop this off, and then, like I said, if I wanted to, get back in it with the irons. But so far, I am super impressed. I like the compactness of it. If I haven't said it already. It is essentially, I thought it was going to be, when I got this, I thought it was going to be much bigger. I thought it was going to be like a traditional scope with a big objective on the end, but they just hacked off the objective. But no, this is tiny. And like I said, I'm impressed by the fact that it is smaller than their 1:6 and the standard 1:6 that I have. So as far as running it on this gun, on my Palmetto State Armory Frankensteiner here, I have to say, I like it. I like it. I'm liking it so much that I'm thinking about, and I know I just said it, I'm thinking about pulling these off, these sights, because it's so short. I do need probably a little bit more need to slide it back just a little bit more, just so it's a little bit closer to the charging handle. Currently, I've been kind of compensating for that by adjusting the pull on the buttstock and getting it a good cheek weld. And like I said, if I do that, I'm right on it. There's no issues. At high power, at 16, I think it's relatively easy to get behind. I do not see a lot of aberration or blur around the outer edges. I'm picking up like the detail on leaves out here in the top of these trees. And this thing, like I said, for the glass and the quality, is pretty freaking impressive. So, is this for you? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't like recommending things to people because I don't want them to be upset about their purchase, something that I told them to go buy. This is more just a video for me to kind of tell you what you're getting, like the specs, and give you a first look at it, the reticle and how it looks and what you're going to get, because a lot of that information isn't available on the site, or, you know, pretty much the only video that I saw was, it seemed like a tie video where somebody got one and it was all in tie, and they were just doing like, you know, a tabletop demonstration of it. I wanted to give you an idea of what you're going to get because I haven't seen a lot of videos on it. And if you have, or if you're currently a Discovery Optics person who buys customer, yeah, these are really good scopes for the cost. Like I said, I think my 5-30 was about $270 with a discount from Amazon for about $30. And as far as I'm concerned, comparing it to some of the other scopes I've had, I've run the Monstrum. I have the CV Life, which is actually a really good scope on my 6.5. I absolutely love that 5-30 on my 308. It's amazing. In fact, because I like my 6.5 a little bit more, I was thinking about swapping those over, the CV over to the 308, and then putting the Discovery Optics on my 6.5 because I shoot my 6.5s a little bit more often, and run all Discovery Optics. I think you really, if you're looking for a scope, I think you really should give them a try. Like I said, I've been running them on all of my rifles. I got one currently on my 22 caliber over there right now, and I've been really impressed by them. The price point is very, very good. Like I said, this was 170, but it had like a discount coupon on it, and I got it for about 160, shipped to my door in 10 days. When you look at if you're looking for one, look up the prices on Amazon, because a lot of them are Amazon Prime, and a lot of them have deals. Like the ones that I bought have had deals up to like 30% off, and you're going to get a scope that you're going to be impressed with. Like I said, I'm not a scope snob. I know a lot of guys are probably over on the range, you know, sitting down, shooting 600 yards with a $2,000 Night Force. Right, I've been out here doing it with a scope that costs 200 and change or less. So I'm not impressed by that. I've looked through the Night Forces. I've looked through the Burris. There are some things that, when it comes to purchasing things, you might want to be concerned about. Like, for instance, Vortex scopes have a lifetime warranty. Drop it, break it, do whatever you want. They'll give you another one, no questions asked. I think Burris is the same way, because I have a Burris red dot on one of my pistols. These also have a lifetime warranty, so they will replace it for you. And I like that, because even if I got a scope that was a budget scope and it broke, they're gonna replace it, and they stand behind that. They actually sent me the 1-6 because I was disappointed in the eye relief on one of their other scopes. It was very, very short, so you had to get it very close to your eye. But I'm using it on 22, and it's no issues. But on a rifle or something a little bit more power, it's just going to definitely punch you in the eye. So if you're looking for, like I said, low budget scope that kind of runs on your budget rifle, instead of you spending like I think what is it, an Arc, and probably cost you like $400, give the Discovery Optics a try. If you're thinking about going LPVO, the Discovery Optics 1-6 is a little bit big. It's a little bit beefier. It's the same length as your standard LPVO, but all of the mechanics and everything are really big, so it makes it beefier and heavier. They all come with shun shades. The 1-6 actually came with a honeycomb shade and the extension shade. They also both come with the end caps, free end caps, and free scope rings. I pull the end caps off because I needed more space here. But you get all the accessories. You get everything you need to kind of get it adjusted on. And like I said, I cannot complain. The only thing that this does not have, doesn't even have a hole for it. It doesn't have a hole for one of those throw levers that allows you to adjust this a little bit easier. But other than that, man, like I said, I'm impressed with them. I wanted to give you guys a first look at it. Beautiful, beautiful looking scope there. It is adjustable parallax from 5 meters all the way, it says, to 500, and then it goes to infinity. It has 4 mil of adjustment on the turret, but again, you can turn that as much as you want or needed, and those are in 10 mil clicks. And then on the windage side, it also goes to 4 mil. Maybe something that I probably would have preferred is, instead of it going from 0 to 4 all the way around, maybe if it went from 0 to 1 to -1, so you know where you're on both sides. But hey, for $160, who's complaining, right? So with that said, I am going to finish out this mag and pack it up, because I've been at the range for a long, long time. I've been training, got some certifications I got to fill out. Like I said, I am going to be your Delaware CCW instructor, basic pistol instructor, chief range officer. I'm going to be your Delaware guy. So if you are in the Delaware area and you are going to be looking for training for like that unconstitutional thing that they did in Maryland, they said it was unconstitutional, they just did in Delaware, I'm going to be the guy to get you trained so you can get your permit to carry, because it is better to have and not need than need and not have. So with that said, appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace.